Hello, my loves. How are you? Today, I'm actually being guided to speak to you around divine masculine power. There's been some really major messages coming in about a new perspective, like a higher, more expanded perspective, especially when it comes to our safety and stability energy and how our ability to feel safe and stable actually expands and becomes stronger the more we allow ourselves to fully expand into all of who we are versus that past idea of staying safe and small, where we would get a small container and learn how to master it and then not really want to go outside of that way of being because everything outside of that felt overwhelming or new or like we didn't have control over it. So this is definitely obviously speaking to the masculine collective, but also our internal masculine energies. Okay. So this is really about learning that as we expand in a safe way within digestible expansion, right? That's why I talk on the channel a lot about pockets, because it's about moving into these digestible pockets of allowing ourselves to expand into who we actually are, our true potential and our true capabilities, okay? So this is about allowing ourselves to really move into those energies in new ways and having the ability to stabilize and to feel safe while moving into parts of ourself that we've never known, which ultimately gives us the power and the ability to bring those capabilities to the table in the manifested physical material world. Okay. And so these new perspectives are important for us to be able to move into what it is that we actually want to do. Okay. But I also wanted to let you guys know really quickly that I also did get clear and direct guidance around the meditation that I'm supposed to share with you. Remember when I said in yesterday's session that this felt like much bigger of a topic, like dropping into our higher self and our intuitive abilities? Well, you guys are awesome at manifesting, and I got clear guidance that I'm actually supposed to share with you my core wound, healing the core wound group session, because the more I really sat with this whole entire topic, for any of us fully dropping into our true power and our true abilities, it's really important to allow ourselves to embody into all of who we are, but also dissolving the dissociation, going back to those original splits in our system, the original core wound. So, yes, this was a group session I did back in the summer. It was an exceedingly powerful group. It's definitely much more than a manifestation or a meditation. And so I'm going to be sharing that with you guys tomorrow. I'm going to schedule it later today so you'll be able to partake in that very, very powerful session. And I hope that you take advantage of that. And if you enjoy it, I'm also going to be doing a live group on 222 for restoring sacred masculine and feminine essences. So just wanted to let you guys know that if you've been keeping up with the series or even popping in and out, or if you're new here, there's going to be some new and upcoming supportive sessions coming forward for you. Okay. So I do feel guided to kind of dive into some other support messages, okay, for the masculines. But one thing that's coming up that I think is very important that I wanted to share about this perspective is why expanding our perspective is so incredibly important, is because if we only look at it in the way that we've known, we can miss all of the potential. And I'm going to use myself as a very important example right now. So, a lot of you guys found me when I was doing the Inner Union series. During that time, my channel grew and my connection with you guys expanded. So now here we are in the Higher Self series, and it's been a totally and completely different type of expansion that's occurred here on the channel. So it wasn't necessarily about a ton of new subscribers, but what did happen on the internal is that we received a lot of information around things that are going to be supportive for those of you that are already subscribed here or going to be subscribed soon. Okay. We realize that there is a large amount of new earth entrepreneurs here on the channel just starting businesses and looking for support with that. We've learned that almost all of you are not, if not all of you, many of you are here for the divine counterpart journey, or some form of a relationship catalyst drew you here. And there's a lot of feminines that have been wanting to come together in group support, just to have someone or groups of people to talk to around the journey, because if you haven't been initiated into it, it's just not something people have the bandwidth to understand. It's definitely one of those things you have to experience to truly understand it. And also, then I've also noticed that there's many of you or that are doing earth work and grid work, star seeds, light workers, and wanting support around that guidance of determining and deciphering the messages and the guidance you are receiving. And so I've learned a tremendous amount about you, about those of you here in this community. And that is an amazing opportunity for all of us to co-create and strengthen what we have here. It's a huge opportunity. But to someone who might be only thinking on a surface level, they might be like, well, oh, her subscribers didn't double again, so she's not really growing in the same way. But to me, it's the exact opposite. We're growing in a deeper way, right? So you see what I'm saying? The roots and the foundation of our community here had an opportunity to stabilize, to feel safe, to know that now we can build and grow our community in a way that's actually going to be beneficial for those of you who resonate and connect with me. And now my abilities and the experiences I've gone through, now I know where to support you. Okay. So it's a win-win for all of us, because it excites me because I actually get to use the abilities of the things that I've been learning and growing through over these years. And to be able to share that with those of you that are also growing is very exciting for me. So that is an important perspective I wanted to bring to you. And I would like you to start to think about how you can apply that to yourself and your situation, because your ability to truly look at the levels of growth and expansion that you're going through by allowing yourself to open up to the new things that you've never done before. Yes, it can feel like a little wobbly at first, right? It's like you're learning how to walk or learning how to ride a bike. But once you learn how to do it, now you have that skill. Now you're stabilized. Now you can allow those roots to strengthen down into the earth, to allow yourself to stabilize. And you will regain feeling safe and stable again in the new. So sometimes when we open up really big, really fast, like many of us did at the beginning of that love bubble phase, right? For those of you on the divine counterpart twin flame journey, and then it feels overwhelming, which is why many go into the physical world separation to process the catalyzation and to restabilize and to get a handle on the information and learn who we are now, right? Which is an important part of the process. But it's also important to allow yourself to keep opening up in the pockets as you're expanding and learning through the process. This is all meant to help you get to know yourself better, to get to know your abilities better, and to strengthen into that in an entirely new and amazing way. Okay. So it's all about the perspective. And just because you don't know the perspective yet doesn't mean it's not safe, doesn't mean it's not an important one. And in fact, Every single one of us, as we learn, open ourselves up to learning something new, we're actually gaining more power. Knowledge is power. So anything we allow ourselves to learn is in fact allowing us to grow our power. Okay. Over the years, I've learned a lot of things about a lot of different subjects. Whether I fully agreed with those or not, I allowed myself to be open enough to listen to them and to learn about them and to have some bandwidth of understanding about it. And now I fully understand why that was so important, because the more I learned about more topics, the more ability I have to show up and support more people, because there's billions of perspectives on this planet. Each one of us has our own unique perspective and way of looking at and experiencing the world. So those of us as individuals who allow ourselves to open up to more perspectives, even if they're not fully what we want to go into, it can be a very important process for understanding others, for understanding different perspectives, for bridging unity consciousness, for being able to accept other perspectives, even that are different from ours, and not judge those. Also knowing that it's okay that if ours are different, that doesn't make us wrong or right, or them wrong or right, that we just can choose what to participate in for ourselves, but that we can still be accepting of others who are different, who act different, who think different, who choose different, and it's all okay, and that we don't have to reject anything in order to be ourselves. And in fact, the more that we accept who we are and the more that we accept ourselves, the more ability we have to accept others just as they are. And in this embodiment of our own true power, expanding into all of who we are in a comfortable way, right? This isn't a race to the finish line. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing 1,000 miles an hour process. In fact, it's much more safe and stable to allow yourself to move at a comfortable pace. This is how you get to actually bridge from where you are to where you want to be, actually learning how to become that version of yourself one step at a time. And sometimes it's going to feel slow, and sometimes it's going to feel really fast, and sometimes it's going to be at a nice, perfect pace. But the bottom line is when we learn how to embrace our own true power and we're comfortable with allowing ourselves to truly expand, we can do it in a way that is safe and stable as we learn to embrace who we are. In that self-acceptance, we build the muscle to step into our own true power. All right, loves. And so I'm just going to pull, I think, a couple of cards just to support this process and see what else might want to come through for the masculine collective, but also just for the whole collective here, because I think this is a very, very important part of the process. And we have ego sublimation, vanishing mirror. And I love this because it's coming in a way that is completely new and different today. And in the sense, it's the shattering of everything that we thought we knew, not because it was wrong, and not because pieces of that aren't going to still be a part of who we are, but it's in the letting go of what it was that we are able to expand into all of who we actually are. And when we take the pieces from what we've known that work and feel good and actually support our true expansion and our true power and our true safety and stability, then we can actually expand into those in a real live way. Because let's be all the way real. The way that we've been living on this planet, it feels in our mind, we've been trained that if we do certain things, it'll keep us safe and stable. But if 4 years ago, when the world shut down, didn't teach us anything but one thing, is that we don't get to control it. And the very things we thought were safe and stable were shaken to the core. And we all had to recenter and learn how to become safe and stable within ourselves. And I know many people wanted to go back to the way that it was because it was comfortable and it was safe. But we all realized in truth that was only on the surface were we safe. It was really not true, genuine safety and stability. It was a belief in that, but look at how quickly it was taken. Okay. That's not to say that this is meant to be a scary thing. But the most powerful thing you can do is find that safety and stability within you, regardless of what's happening in this world, regardless of what's happening in the material world. What can you do? Yes, we have to take care of ourselves, right? But how can you self master to take care of yourself, to learn how to deal with your emotions, to actually truly be present in the discomfort versus dissociating and running? Because when we dissociate and run, if something is uncomfortable, yes, of course, if it's dangerous, then run and take care of yourself. But I'm talking about all of these other parts, the parts where we've been afraid of our own true power, of our intuitive abilities, of our extrasensory abilities, or the fact that we're multidimensional beings that have significantly more abilities than what we've been taught. How about the power of stopping and jumping and really dropping into the truth of what you actually want versus the safety of what everybody told you you should be doing, right? Like actually living the life you really wanted to come here for. That true core soul blueprint that drives you to be here with me in this moment, right? This is a really powerful topic. And I hope for those of you that are here watching, even if this is your first time here, I hope you tune in tomorrow to tomorrow's Core Soul Womb session. Because if there's been any of these fears or worries, or feeling unstable, or feeling uncertain about who you are as a being, you don't have to know. You don't even need to know. Your higher self knows. Your soul knows exactly who you are. And that session is designed to support you in just dissolving the programming or the pain or the suffering or the beliefs or the limitations that have kept us feeling not good enough or steered us away from owning our true power, where our power has been siphoned away or given away in ways that we never even realized we were doing. Truly, truly stepping into our genuine power, not power over others, not controlling every little aspect of our life to the point that we're suffocated, but the true power of knowing that that safety and stability comes from inside of you first. When you can feel safe and stable in who you are as a being, as you can feel safe and stable to hold space for yourself, to have emotions, to process what's actually happening in the truest way, to get comfortable with knowing the truth. Because at least if you know the truth, then you actually know how to make a genuine decision versus running and dissociating away from the actual truth to feel safe and stable, but then you're not actually safe and stable. You know, it's kind of like running away from the truth is like knowing that there's a fire in your living room, and instead of exiting the house, you run in the bathroom and shut the door. Okay, I don't see the fire, so it must not be real. But let's keep it real. That fire is still there, right? So we have to face that and exit the house. So the things that have been coming up in our world are there. I'm not saying these things to scare you. I'm saying them to say you have the power to center and ground and stabilize within yourself, regardless of what is happening around you, when you learn how to show up for yourself truly. And it's okay if we're not there yet. All you have to do, like I've said, is simply align and intend for this to be the truth. To ask your higher self and your higher power and your highest creator to support you in a gentle and stabilized fashion in opening up to the truth of who you are in a way that isn't overwhelming, in a way that you can digest. Okay. And if you're wanting to do more of this in a deeper way, I do invite you to listen to tomorrow's session. And if you know that you want to do more of this and you are interested in stabilizing more and more of your true sacred higher essence and inner and outer sacred masculine and sacred feminine powers, then I also invite you to the live session on 2/22 this coming Thursday. And if you're watching this later on, that recording is going to be available on my website to purchase afterwards if you're interested. So I love you. I really hope that you found this helpful. I'm exceedingly happy that this message came through in the way that it did because it feels like such an important midpoint of embracing our stability and safety and meeting in that central heart space of also allowing ourselves to expand more deeply and higher into all of who we are as the multidimensional, magnificent beings that you are. All right, loves. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoy tomorrow's session, and I will see you for day 21 tomorrow and day 22 on Thursday. All right. Love you so much. Hope you enjoyed this and have a beautiful rest of your day.